And this is Superblock.
We wanted to keep the game as minimalist as possible using a minimalistic art style. This lets us keep the game as simple as possible. We decided to make the game as vibrant as possible using a very limited colour palette of red, white and blue. We designed Superblock to have a unique look when compared with everything else in the game. The game is comparable to the art style of the game Antechamber, where 3D isn't displayed with shading, but with outline instead.
We thought about what music would suit each level, such as in Runaway level, it's a fast and catchy and upbeat music, whereas in the simple and classic levels, it will be calm music, but it will also be catchy.
The first game mode is what we're calling Classic. It sticks to the original concept of playing the game against the time and the enemies, while viewing the game in a bird's eye view. You have to outmaneuver and evade the enemies for an amount of time. Next, we use the simple and effective side-scroller. This takes influence from the original Sonic or Mario Bros. Series. It's a game mode everybody will be familiar with and will be used to. It's easy for the old gamers to pick back up, and it's easy for the new gamers to get into. Third person is fairly self-explanatory. Looking over the shoulder of Superblock, you are more likely to have time in this mode, manoeuvring obstacles and enemies with stealth and brain power instead of reactions and instinct. Head-on is a twist on the third person game mode. It's the same view, but from the front. So you're running towards the camera and looking over Superblock's shoulder. In this game mode, it's going to involve constant moving and dodging of objects, and we have first person mode. Seeing from the eyes of Superblock, this gives the player a higher sense of self-awareness, and they seem to feel more in the game.
Level design is very important in this process. If you are not to put effort and time into this, the whole game could possibly fail. Our first level is called Broken Building. You are Superblock and you are going down a collapsing building very fast. You are to avoid objects that are about to approach you. Our next level we designed is a 3D backwards third person level called Runaway. You are Superblock running away from a tornado, which is the shape of a pyramid, which is throwing buildings at you. You are to move left and right to avoid these.
When we started the level design process, we initially wanted to follow the original design for Superblock, but we wanted to improve it slightly, so we ended up creating a level called Classic. It also has some crazy ideas, one of them being a map called Freefall, which is where you fall through a skyscraper and you have to move out of the way of oncoming obstacles. This was quite interesting to see our ideas come together, especially when it came to the art style and the game mechanics, for instance.
The next level is Maze. It is very visually appealing. The colours work, and the maze has very big doors and long corridors because you don't want the player to feel claustrophobic. There are no defining marks throughout the maze, so there is no way they'll be able to find their way back easily.
The target age for our video game is going to be between the ages of 12 to 15-year-olds. The main reason why it's going to be between the ages of 12 to 15-year-olds is because people between those ages have enough experience and intelligence in the game world to understand how the game is played. Our video game is similar to that of a game called Perspective, which, as the name suggests, can change the perspective or view of the game into 2D from 3D or 3D into 2D by simply moving or rotating the screen.
The unique selling point of this concept is the perspectives. It's the fact that each game mode has a different perspective. It shouldn't be too complicated because it uses simple perspectives like side-scroller, first person, third person, over the shoulder. But when they do change, the player will feel it and they will realise that it is just a part of the game. And I think each player will have their favourite perspective, their favourite game mode, and honestly I think it will go well. The other thing that goes well with this concept is the simplicity. I think is really nice to look at. When you're playing it, you don't get a headache, you can enjoy it, and I just think overall it's quite beautiful to play.
Initially, Superblock can be downloaded for free, but to monetize the game we want to include multiple packages of content which the player shall pay for. These packages will include things such as the the character custom skins, where you can customize Superblock with a number of unique looks. There will be map packs, which originally the game starts off with a classic pack, which has at least one level utilizing each game mode, but you can buy more maps for all game modes that will follow a particular theme. For example, using elements like water, lava, air. There's also music packs. Although there are music tracks created to fit with each level, you can buy packages that will include more music tracks. Then there are game mode packs, which instead of buying a package with a map for each game mode, you could purchase a number of maps for your favorite game mode. For example, the side scroller pack, which will include 3 levels exclusively to the side scroller game mode.